Welcome to AI Brief. Today we're doing a deep dive into an AI landscape it's changing so fast, almost week by week it feels like. Demis Hassabis, Google DeepMind's CEO, put it bluntly, a huge change is coming. And that really highlights the need for all of us to keep learning, keep adapting if we want to keep up. And here to help us make sense of it all is our expert.
Great to be here. And yeah, that's the core challenge, isn't it? How do you stay current when things are shifting so dramatically? So today we want to give you the essential insights. We'll unpack what Demis Hassabis means by continual learning for your career. Then we'll look at China's really interesting brain-like AI running much faster on their own chips. Plus some fascinating Harvard research using AI to potentially reverse diseases in cells. And then a quick roundup of other key AI news and some useful tools.
Okay, let's start with Demis Hassabis, because his message feels incredibly relevant right now. He's saying the top skill needed isn't, mastering one specific AI tool that might be outdated next year. It's about learning how to learn, which sounds simple, but it's actually fundamental considering how AI is changing, everything: education, work, industries.
And what's striking is the speed he's talking about. Hassabis warns that AGI, artificial general intelligence, where AI matches human abilities, might only be a decade away. He talks about radical abundance coming from this, but also constant disruption. So to navigate that, he emphasizes these meta skills. It's not just about knowing stuff. It's about getting good at the process of learning itself. How do you learn best? How do you adapt your learning approach? He basically says this kind of lifelong learning isn't optional anymore. It's just required throughout your career.
So what does that actually mean for you listening? Well, the old way: learn a skill, use it for 5 or 10 years, then maybe upskill. That model's broken. It just doesn't work anymore. You need to be constantly tracking what's happening, staying ahead, finding ways to differentiate yourself. It's about managing your career proactively in this very fluid environment. Now, speaking of massive shifts, let's talk about what's happening globally, specifically in China. Researchers there have unveiled Spiking Brain 1.0, and this isn't just another AI model. It's designed differently, mimicking human neurons to get huge speed increases. And crucially, it runs entirely on China's own Medix chips. No NVIDIA hardware involved. That's a big statement about technological independence.
It really is. And connecting this to the bigger picture, Spiking Brain works differently from, say, ChatGPT. Instead of activating the whole network all the time, it fires neurons selectively, more like our brains do, which makes it incredibly efficient. They train 7 billion and 76 billion parameter versions. That's a measure of the model size, using less than 2% of the data typically needed. But they still matched the performance of traditional models on language tasks. That's a huge leap in efficiency.
And the speed numbers are just wow. The smaller model handled a 4 million token prompt, like processing a whole novel at once, over 100 times faster than similar standard systems. Plus, it stayed stable for weeks. They've even put out a free online version, Shengxi, running only on Chinese tech. A demonstration of self-reliance.
So why does this matter so much beyond the tech specs? It means China isn't just competing anymore. They're building a potentially parallel AI ecosystem, one that could bypass the whole reliance on NVIDIA and Western tech that dominates right now. The AI world isn't just one system anymore. You have to be aware of these major regional innovations to really understand the future landscape. It's becoming much more diverse.
Okay, from hardware independence to potentially life-changing health applications. Let's look at Harvard Medical School. They've developed a free AI model called PDAGrapher, and its goal is ambitious: finding gene and drug combinations to turn diseased cells back into healthy ones.
Yeah, the approach is really the key innovation here. Traditional drug discovery often targets just one thing in a cell, but complex diseases are rarely that simple. PDTaographer looks at the whole network: genes, proteins, signals, all interacting. It maps out what's going wrong systemically, then finds multiple points to intervene simultaneously. It's a much more holistic view.
And the results? Pretty stunning. It outperformed other AI systems by 35% across 19 cancer types. That's significant, and it did it 25 times faster. They tested it first by seeing if it could predict known lung cancer treatments, which it did. Now they're using it to tackle really tough brain diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, working with Mass General Hospital.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Because like you said, complex diseases often outsmart single-target drugs. PDGrapher's ability to find multiple leverage points at once, that could genuinely crack diseases that have seemed untreatable for so long. Think about the potential impact, not just for patients, but even economically, potentially saving billions spent on drug trials that lead nowhere. It's a smarter way to approach drug discovery.
Okay, let's round things out with some other important developments across the AI scene. Quick takes on key headlines. Google's pushing on privacy with Vault Gemma. It's a 1 billion parameter model designed so it reportedly doesn't memorize user data. That's huge for sensitive areas like healthcare or finance.
And on the consumer front, Google's Gemini app actually hit #1 on the US App Store, even overtaking ChatGPT for downloads on iOS. Shows how quickly things can shift.
Also seeing some major financial maneuvering. Reports suggest OpenAI wants to cut Microsoft's share of its revenue quite drastically, down from 20% to maybe just 8% by the end of the decade. That could mean like $50 billion more for OpenAI.
But remember, they're also negotiating hard about how much OpenAI pays Microsoft for all that essential cloud infrastructure. It's a complex relationship with a lot of money involved, shows how the value is being reassessed.
And the legal battles are heating up. Penske Media, they own Rolling Stone. Billboard is suing Google. They claim Google's AI summaries in search are siphoning off clicks and hurting their revenue. It's a big question about fair use and value.
Google says traffic is stable and the summaries help discovery. But yeah, some studies do show click-through rates dropping when those summaries appear. This conflict is definitely one to watch.
Quick personnel note, Robbie Walker, a senior AI exec at Apple who worked on Siri, has reportedly left the company.
And Elon Musk's xAI has apparently laid off about 500 AI tutors, the folks who helped train their Grok AI model through data annotation.
Just circling back on Google's Gemini app's success, a lot of that viral buzz seems to be from its fun image features, like the Nano Banana model, and creating 3D figures. User engagement is key.
And finally, showing the global talent race, China's Tencent has hired Yao Xinyu, a notable AI researcher previously at OpenAI, to boost their own AI integration efforts.
Okay, to wrap up, let's quickly highlight some trending AI tools you might find useful right now. First, Replit Agent 3. This is an autonomous agent for actually building applications, automating parts of development.
Then Qwen 3 Next from Alibaba, an efficient ADB parameter model balancing power and resource use.
Poke is interesting, an AI assistant that works right inside your text messages for smart replies.
Obo lets you instantly create AI-generated courses on pretty much any topic you want to learn about.
Incredible helps automate tasks across hundreds of different apps using AI to streamline your workflow.
Umro is for businesses creating AI agents for better customer service and engagement.
Yes, Tool aims to provide high-quality AI-generated images, videos, and music for creators.
And on Verbia, this analyzes video meetings to give you clear summaries and actionable insights. Saves wading through recordings.
So, thinking about everything we've covered, the speed of change, Asaba's urging continual learning, the new tools emerging. It really leads to a final thought for you. In this AI landscape that's constantly shifting, how are you going to differentiate yourself? What specific meta skills will you focus on, or how will you use these tools uniquely to not just keep up, but actually get ahead? Something to consider. We hope this deep dive gave you some valuable things to think about. Please follow and share AI Brief to stay informed with our deep dives into the latest in AI.